take you to your
It's like automatic drive.
It should be vibrating.
It ain't doing jack. Okay, now it's vibrating.
There we go.
Just shake it a little bit.
So that's your data point. Up over here, that's where a collection should be vibrating.
Okay, now.
Yeah. So it's actually vibrating more there.
Yeah, the way we've set this up at the moment is the four corners have a different level of vibration, just so you might get an idea of what we're talking about with that granularity idea. And then we sort of picked one spot in here that would be sort of as if it was on auto drive. Well, it could be self-searching, but if it was auto drive, yeah, I mean, you can hear it now as well. That'd be like, potentially if that was a trend line, and that's your point on the trend line as is.
So the machine would guide you across the
You can do, yeah, we're thinking that what you might get is two options. One is sort of automatic mode, where, so that way you can sort of put your hand on it and it would show you, like I said, if there's a trend line and you couldn't see it, it would sort of automatically, like maybe do the curve or whatever it is, and you just sort of let it guide your hand. The other option would be a self-drive, so you could just sort of explore the space. So like maybe it's a button or something, and then you could just feel around, be like, oh, what's up, and by the chain of vibration, get an idea like, oh, there's a whole massive points here, and I see that. Maybe I can sort of now, maybe you were showing the trend line at first, but now you can just explore the data yourself and find out for yourself how it's being, maybe predicted or something.
cool, yeah.
Are you talking about changing both the intensity and the speed of the vibration?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we tried, this one was more just intensity because of the nature of what we've got at the moment. So, I mean, we also, it doesn't have to be just vibration. We're thinking, ideally, for your data point, would be nice to sort of, it could clunk, maybe it's a solenoid that fires, but it would give some variability to it. We just had a simple cell phone vibrator.
More data.
Yeah, there was some questions about, because of the hardware, what's the best way to build this into the table? Right now, what we were thinking of that we didn't get around to building was that, in fact, it would be sort of a tabletop that's attached to this, so this actually would be just hidden away. But for just the sake of building, we decided that we'll just do the cutout for now. That's if you want to try to have this as clean as possible, and if you want to project maybe the graph right on top of it, so even you can just layer that information down, the tactile, the audio, and visual all at once. That would give you an opportunity to do that, because this would be one sort of tabletop that just moves with it, so you'd never see, you'd see the whole cutout of it. Yeah, there's some other, we thought about, again, other options, maybe just talk about hydraulically floating. There'd be some issues about it breaking free, so to speak, and then you just hold it. Different ideas of how we're trying to hide it.
So we'll drive you to where your data point is, hopefully. So get a response there. So that's your data point. And now we'll drive to a point where there's a bunch of data points. So there's a certain amount of points there, and now over here, so you see that there's different levels of vibration.
Can I drive it?
Yeah. You can explore.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have. One of the things I've done in my research is to research search patterns, which a lot of blind people have very common search patterns. There's also the concept of linear exploration as opposed to diagonal, like what I just did.
Yeah.
So this is really interesting to me because
I think it's going to get moved up.
now you've done basically there's data in each corner.
Right now there is, just to show the variable levels.
And then our
There's a data point.
My data. If I want to find my data.
I'm not sure how big the range is.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool, guys. This is very, very cool. And this is just on rollers.
Yeah, I mean, there's some linear bearing.
I love this. This is very nice.
Yeah, so it's like a gantry from a
Yeah. That's the power cord.
This is, I want to talk to you a little bit more about this. I might want to try to replicate this in the lab.
Sure.
Because I've got some other software where instead of data points, we've mapped it to a computer vision system that is actually looking at the environment in front of you. And this would be a neat exploration.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Neat. There's your data point.
Okay.
specific self-driving mode. Yeah, if you want to check that yourself.
So you get quite a bit of variation.
We were experimenting with 4 different levels of vibration and actually intent. But potentially there could be more.
Yeah, right.
Continued iterative process.
Yeah, exactly.
Cena was much better at driving. Couldn't find the data point.
Look at it here.
Okay.
Give you the
Team sonification is finishing setting up so people can head to their seats and get ready for the next presentation.